Sunday's got...
Bullets that make you go, ooh.
You've got to come back with me.
Where? Back to the future.
A network television premiere.
Things that make you go, ooh.
Unbelievable.
Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future 2, Sunday.
Marty, I did invent the time machine for financial gain. The intent here is to gain a clear perception of humanity. Where we've been, where we're going, the pitfalls and the possibilities, the perils and the promise. Perhaps even an answer to that universal question. Why?
Hey, Doc, I'm all for that. What's wrong with making a few bucks on the side?
I am going to put this in the trash. Great Scott!
McFLY, Jennifer Jane Parker, 3793 Oakhurst Street, Hilldale, age 47.
47? That's a hell of a good facelift.
What the hell are they doing, Doc?
They used her thumbprint to assess her ID. Since her thumbprint never changes over the years, they simply assume she's the Jennifer of the future.
Well, we gotta stop them.
What are we going to say? That we're time travelers? They have us committed.
She's clean. That means we take her home.
Home to Hilldale? It'll be dark by the time we get out there.
You're taking her home, to your future home. We'll arrive shortly thereafter, get her out of there, and go back to 1985.
You mean I'm gonna see where I live? I'm gonna see myself as an old man?
No, Marty. That could result in... Oh, great Scott! Jennifer could conceivably encounter her future self. The consequences of that could be disastrous.
Doc, what do you mean?
I foresee two possibilities. One, coming face to face with herself 30 years older would put her into shock and she'd simply pass out. Or two, the encounter could create a time paradox, the results of which could cause a chain reaction that would unravel the very fabric of the space-time continuum and destroy the entire universe. Granted, that's a worst-case scenario. The destruction might, in fact, be very localized, limited to merely our own galaxy.
Well, that's a relief.
Marchy McFly, Marchy McFly. Year 6 of Marchy McFly. Ready or not, Year 6 of Marchy McFly. I'm back, great Scott. It's year 6. 31 straight days for you. In year 6. It's Back to the Future Part 2. Every day. Gonna have a little talk of Marty and Doc. 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 Sunday night. It's Sunday night and I'm talking Back to the Future Part 2 once again. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is March 8th, 2026, which means it's the 8th day of Marchy McFly 6, and it means for the 8th straight day, I am here talking about Back to the Future Part 2 to you. Today we are talking about minutes 23:20 to 26:40. So it's minute 23 and 20 seconds to minute 26 and 40 second. And I realize that I didn't mean for it to be this way, but every 3 days we cover 10 minutes of the movie. That seems to be exactly where we've been. I like that it's not like an extra second here, an extra second there. Last year I kind of screwed up with, divvying up the minutes exactly. And this year it's almost perfect, except for like the last day. I think there's a couple extra seconds, but that's fine. That's fine. On the last day, all rules go out the window because it's March 31st, and we'll be talking about Back to the Future Part 2 for quite possibly the last time in Marchy McFly history. But that is a long time from now. I mean, we're talking, do the math, carry the 1, 31, take away, okay, 31 take away 1, you have 30. Then you need to take away 7, so you have 23. 23 days left after today, I think. I didn't, put pen to paper, so I don't know exactly if I'm correct, but it sounds right. It does sound right. And maybe I'm a little loopy because for some reason the whole world gets loopy when you lose 1 hour of your day. And I was like, wait, did I lose an hour or do I gain an hour? I know they say you lose an hour because, you do. You're going to bed. Let's say you go to bed and you wake up at 5 a.m. Well, now it's 6 a.m., so you've lost that hour. They've skipped over that hour for daylight savings. Right? So we basically all time traveled today, unless you're in Arizona. We all time traveled to 1 year into the future, which is pretty exciting. It seemed very much the same. The only difference was in this future, my microwave clock was still in the past, so I needed to catch that up. Actually, it was the microwave and the oven, but everything else kind of automatically updates now. It used to be you'd go around the house and change all your clocks, and they're all exactly 1 hour slow. And I'd be like, damn, I'm late for daylight savings. I know that's so last year. We're here now, and I wonder, did I make a dumb daylight savings joke last year? I wonder. I'm not going to go back and find out. You guys are welcome to. But I wonder, I feel like I do have it in me, and I feel like I'm going to forget about this. And next year at this time, when we're on Marchy McFly 7, I will be doing it. I'll probably do something like this all over again. We'll see. History does repeat itself, and so does Marchy McFly. Hence the fact that we're talking about Back to the Future Part 2 again. And there are only so many, moments of insight or things that I notice or things that I want to talk about. Only so many discussion points that there can be, but at least now I'm spreading them out. So there, in the original format of the show, I watched the movie completely every single day. And so I could just pick and choose and talk about anything. I sometimes I kept it in a bit of an order. So I kept kind of the finale stuff towards the end, but I could have done anything. It was just wild, a wild time to be alive. But now, with much stricter rules in place, I am trying to do my best to talk about these 3 minutes and 20 seconds only. I haven't quite done a good job with that, but I also don't care enough to punish myself. I'm not that weird. I'm weird enough, but I'm not that weird. So I'm trying to focus on this 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Even today, I think I'm going to. I think because it's Sunday night and it's a little later than I thought. I kept thinking I'm gonna, it's still light out. I'm gonna record early. And then I'm like, wait a second, it's 7:45. I haven't had dinner. Oh my goodness gracious! And my wife had a headache, so she was already asleep. So I can't be too loud because if I wake her up, that would be a Marchy Mick disaster. It would be Marchy mixed sensitive. Insensitive? I don't know what I'm saying. But I do know that I'm here now, and it's almost 9 o'clock, and I'm ready to talk about those 3 minutes and 20 seconds, but not quite yet. Not yet, because I wanted to mention one thing that I saw on Instagram from 20 hours ago yesterday. Michael J. Fox posted on Instagram. I will put a link to it in the show notes. He and Mr. Christopher Lloyd were out dining together. It says, dining with my bestie at the beach. Next year, Back to the Future is 41. Great Scott. Chris will be 88. That's some serious shit. And then Mr. Christopher Lloyd underneath said, man, that's heavy. And I want to melt at those comments. I love seeing them together. They look happy. They're smiling. Everyone looks good, and I'm very happy to see that. And I don't know where they are. They didn't put a location. It says at the beach. I guess they're kind of indoors but outdoors. They have a roof over their head at some fancy restaurant. I don't think it's... No, I don't see any drive-through. No, it's a nice restaurant. But they could be eating anywhere. They could be eating at the Burger King next to Doc's garage. They could be eating at Lou's Diner. They could be eating at the Cafe 80s. I wouldn't care. As long as I see them together, it made my day. So now let's go from here, from 2026. Let's go back 37 years, back to 1989, where today I made a small I didn't make a discovery. To me, I noticed, or I finally, it dawned on me, there you go, that this movie came out in November of 1989. I feel like growing up all my life, I assumed that it was a summer movie. I definitely saw it in the theater. I remember being very excited about seeing the trailer at the end for Back to the Future 3 and, coming next year, next summer 1990, I think is what it said. I think it's been a while since I've got to that ending. We'll find out, on March 31st exactly what it says. But I always thought it was a summer movie. The first movie came out in July. The third movie came out in May, which is pretty much a summer movie. And this one came out in November. And then that's where it dawned on me. That's where I made the next realization that this movie and the third movie, they didn't come out a year apart. They only came out 6 months apart from each other. So, you had to wait years to see part 2, and then you only had to wait months, not even a full year to see part 3. So that is you don't see that much anymore with, a movie right back to back, right? I'm trying to think the last time we saw something like that. Didn't Kevin Costner try to do those giant Westerns where he filmed a couple and tried to put them back to back? Is there anything more recent with that? The It movies, I think, were still a couple of years apart from each other, even though the end was It 2 is coming. Or no, I think it just said It Chapter 1. The Dune movies, I think they filmed those. Maybe they filmed them together. I don't know. The Wicked. Oh, The Wicked. Right there. It's right in front of my face. Not in front of my face, but it's right in the past, year. They did Wicked and Wicked for Good. And they, but I don't know if people knew that they were seeing just the first half when it came out. I think maybe at the end it said Wicked Part 1, and then obviously we got Wicked for Good, I guess. I don't know. But that is the most recent. So it's not that old. But I wonder if Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 are one of the first. There's no way it's one of the first. I feel like sequels, especially probably with lower budget movies, were filmed back to back and all the time. But I'm not going to look into it. I'm just going to assume. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just assume, just based on logic. And you know who else? You know who loves logic? Me. You know who else loves logic? Mr. Dr. Emmett L. Brown. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into these 3 minutes and 20 seconds of Back to the Future Part 2. Not even 15 seconds ago, I talked about how Doc Brown is a man of logic, a man of science, but he might also be a man of poor decisions, because this 3 minute and 20 second clip shows the aftermath of one poor decision, and then shows the next poor decision happens right then, and we see the aftermath of that for the next, pretty much for the rest of the movie. I blame Jennifer for most of it, and maybe it isn't. Like I said, the fact that when they took Jennifer out of the car, it led to it did. It still led to everything, because without having to go where they have to go, and they mentioned in this 3 minutes and 20 seconds, the rest of the movie wouldn't happen. So, or it wouldn't, the terrible outcome wouldn't happen. But part of that, first, it's like a domino effect. They left Jennifer. We see what happens next. And then what happens in this clip leads to what another thing that happens next. And, all hell pretty much breaks loose. But first, Doc has just finished telling Marty about leaving Einstein in a suspended animation kennel, which again might be dog abuse. I'm not entirely sure. It might be animal abuse. But Einstein seems fine. He seems happy. And what a beautiful dog. Doc gets out and he's like, what in the Isaac H. Newton, or Sir Isaac? He says something about Isaac Newton. What happened here? Now look at Doc's shirt. What I love about Doc's shirt is you see two people on horseback chasing what almost looks like a futuristic train. Interesting little foreshadowing. And there's a frozen shot on Doc here that does not look like any change of blood or adding 30, 40 years to his life worked here. He looks almost elderly here. But he's looking at the aftermath of everything that happened with Griff. And Marty's like, oh, damn, bro, my son showed up. And Doc's like, son of a bitch. It's because I used the sleep-inducing alpha generator. Is that right? The sleep-inducing? I think that's what it's called. Basically, the electric roofie. Because he used it on Jennifer, there wasn't enough to knock Marty Jr. out for the entire hour. So he was planning to knock him out for an hour. Where did he put this boy? This is a teenage boy that this old man who has no connection to him, like at this point in the regular timeline, Doc Brown would have died years ago. There's no record of this man now. And Marty Jr. might have seen photos. His dad might have shared photos, but he probably is like, hey, wait a minute. You look like he approached Marty and Marty Jr.'s like, wait a second. You look like that man. And then he attacks him. He wakes up without a problem and he doesn't remember it. He said Jennifer would wake up and have a dream. Think it's all a dream. I don't know what Marty Jr. thought. He didn't seem to think anything, but where did he put this child? Where and why did he, if he didn't kidnap the boy, why did he need to take Jennifer out of the car? And you'll see my frustration with this. There is no reason to have taken Jennifer out of the car. She's knocked out. So there wasn't enough juice left to get Marty Jr. So when he's knocked out, you leave him there. You didn't bring him in the car, so you didn't need the space in the car for Jennifer. You just took her out of the car so that you had something to do, and then it leads to what happens next. Now, so Marty says, my kid showed up, and Doc's all frustrated. He's like, oh, damn it, I can't believe it. I blew it. While he's doing this, you see the most looks like a mustache twirling version of Biff Jr. walk by, and he's looking at Doc and he's looking at Marty and he's like, oh my goodness. And he's going by on his cane. He's hunched over and then he scurries out of the way before being noticed. But the good news is that the future history was still changed, because since the gang destroys the courthouse, they get jailed for that. They weren't able to do the other crime, and therefore Marty Jr. didn't join them, and everything's fine. Nothing else. So the newspaper changed. That's what they noticed. They're like, look, Doc, it's still changing. The newspaper's changing. It changed. What would have been cool is if one other thing changed. Like it says, man killed by falling litter. Oh, because of cars probably, right? Like if one thing changed there, like just anything that showed that their history, like this, had something to do with something else. It would have been interesting, but that's I'm thinking too much. And it shows Biff saying, "I was framed." Then they look up and they see it actually happening. They see the kids being pulled out of the courthouse. This almost looks like it's the two. It can't be the two same cops, the two women cops, because we'll see them in a few minutes with Jennifer. But he says, "I was framed." Gang leader had bionic overloads. That's what it says. I don't think I ever noticed that. And as he says that, they look up and they actually hear him say, "I was framed." And I did like this. There was a floating, almost like a drone. You'd call it a drone now, a floating news capturer, news box, news drone, I guess you'd call it. You said USA Today, we're always there first, and it gets the photo of the actual photo that you see. So that is a cool thing that kind of, it's not exactly happening now. I feel like that does seem like a very realistic future, especially with drones and people's paparazzi and everyone wanting to be on the news and get the news first. So Doc's all happy. He's like, it didn't happen exactly the way I wanted it, but it did happen. So let's get Einstein back in the car. Let's go get Jennifer and let's get home. Marty does make sure to grab the hoverboard. Very important in the climax of both the next sequel. The hoverboard comes in very handy. It comes in very handy, and it's life-saving. It is very life-saving, and I'm glad he did that. He also goes to grab the almanac, the thinnest, 50-year almanac ever, and clumsy Marty, he drops it on the ground. Doc sees it. He's like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Come on, it's just a little souvenir, and get back home, make a few bets." And Doc's like, "Are you out of your effing mind?" Smack, slapped him. Oh wait, that's probably what should have happened. No, I shouldn't. You never violence, but that's what could have happened if Doc was a different man. He's like, we can't do this. No. I didn't invent the time machine to make money. I invent the time machine to travel through time, to try to find out all the mysteries of the world. And there's no way we're doing this. We're going to throw this away. So he's like, he goes to throw it away, and he walks by the Surf Vietnam sign, which it's just interesting to me. That must have just been a way to show that how far the world has come since the Vietnam War. Now, this is 1989 when it's being filmed. So we're talking like 14, less than 15 years since the end of the Vietnam War. And I think they're trying to show that, look, in the future, Vietnam is a vacation destination, Surf Vietnam. I wonder if that was like controversial at all. I wonder if people got bothered by that at all. I don't know. And the fact for Marty, it's 1985, so it's 10 years since the Vietnam War that Back to the Future is taking place, which means that these guys are coming to 30 years in the future and they're seeing Surf Vietnam. So just an interesting little thing that bears no bearing on any story. It's just like a little flare in the background, little color to just something to add to the atmosphere. And at this point, what I do like is there's a robot, which again looks like one of those almost like a delivery robot you'd see nowadays dropping things off. It's called the litter bug, and he goes to throw the almanac away, and before he gets a chance to, he sees police in the alley, and he's like, damn. He doesn't throw it away. He doesn't get it into the litter bug. That's important. And he's like, oh no. He realizes that the cops are checking on Jennifer. They see this woman passed out in the road. They and I believe these two police officers, one of them is Robert Zemeckis' wife or ex-wife, and she's an actress that is no longer with us. Well, one of the women, so there's a black woman and a white woman, and the black woman is Stephanie Williams. She's best known for Back to the Future 2. And also being on 130 episodes of Young and the Restless. How the hell, and 50 episodes of General Hospital, 4 episodes of Dynasty, how the hell is Young and the Restless not the first thing she's known for? Yes, more people probably saw her in Back to the Future too, but anyone who knows her would know her from being Amy Lewis and Amy Wilson. Maybe she got married or divorced. In The Young and the Restless. And then Dr. Simone Hardy, then Simone Ravel Hardy in 50 episodes of General Hospital. My mother loved General Hospital. I don't think she watches any of those things now, but her things were General Hospital and All My Children. All My Children was her thing. Young and the Restless, she never watched. But the last thing this woman, she did one episode of Rock in the 90s. The Meteor Man. Wait, The Meteor Man with Robert Townsend? Fancy. 2 episodes of One Life to Live, Moesha, The Parenthood, Pay the Price, and The Nation was the last thing she did from 2009. she played Betty on The Nation, which I don't know anything about it, but that's the last thing she did on her IMDb. The other officer is Mary Ellen Trainor, who actually passed away in 2015. She was married to Robert Zemeckis from 1980 to 2000. And she, you know her if you saw her. Like, I didn't actually recognize her in this, but you'd know her as, the mom of Bran and Mikey in The Goonies. Yes. You'd know her as maybe Gail in Die Hard. The last thing she did was something called Cake, A Wedding Story, but she was in Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan one. Was she in all the Lethal Weapons? You bet your balls she was. Lethal Weapon 4, 3, 2, and 1. She was a psychologist all the way back to Lethal Weapon. Again, just from being in The Goonies alone, the world should know her. Never mind the fact that she was also in friggin' the Monster Squad. Okay, so and she is actually uncredited in this role, and it's probably because she was Robert Zemeckis' wife. He's like, you want to be a cop for a little bit? Sure, let's do it. So they see this woman alone, knocked out in in an alley. They use her thumbprint to assess her who she is, and they see that she's Jennifer McFly, aged 47. And you know what? I think I've seen Elizabeth Shue in age 47, and she probably looks pretty much the same. So she still would pass. They'd still be like, damn, that's some good facelift. Because the thumbprint doesn't change, they just assume that she's the Jennifer of now. She just looks great. So they're like, okay, we're going to bring her home. Would they do that though? If they see, let's be honest, if you found a woman like this on the side of the road, on the side of an alley, knocked out, if this was today, in today's world, they would look at this woman and go, okay, she's obviously high. She's obviously an overdose. Do we have the Narcan? Get the shot or something? Like, she's obviously on some sort of, she's doped up on something. Did she have fentanyl? Did she have heroin? I don't know. But you wouldn't just say, let's bring her home. You would bring her to a hospital. So again, just the script feels like it was written to achieve specific outcomes without having to worry about sense or logic in every aspect. It could have been, hey, let's go crazy. They say, oh, we should get her to a hospital. They take her to a hospital. They call Marty, and Marty's with Jennifer. No, they're not together, so it can't be that. It would have been cool if they call the house, and okay, they call the house. They get the house number. Marty's not home yet. We don't have cell phones, so Marty's not home. Jennifer's not home, and Marty Jr. just isn't home yet because he doesn't get home. No, wait, they are home. When Jennifer's there, the kids are already home. So the kids answer the phone. They go to the hospital and they're like, I don't know, this looks like my mom, but that's not my mom. My mom's much older. Like, something could have happened. That's what would have happened logically. And then maybe, it could have been like they gotta get her out of the hospital, something. Instead, it's just like, oh, there's a young lady on the side of the road knocked out. Who knows if she's been assaulted? Who knows anything? Who knows if even worse, like, who knows what happened to her? Let's just bring her home. Let's just leave her home. She's fine. Great job with the law enforcement, Hill Valley. I'm taking this straight back to Mayor Goldie Wilson Jr. I'm blaming you on this complete lack of respect for the public. This is anarchy. This is illogical, and it just bugs me. I didn't think this would bug me. I didn't even think about this until now, and now I'm getting angry. Okay, so they're gonna take her home, and that's what happens. They're gonna take her home, and Doc's like, oh well, we're gonna have to go get her home, and he's like, Marty's like, I'm gonna go to my house. I'm gonna see where I'm living. I'm gonna see myself as an old man. Again, it's 1990, and saying that 47 is an old man is, again, it's criminal. At the time, it never dawned on me, being a 13-year-old kid. Never thought that 47 isn't an old man. And yet, for your boy here, that ship sailed a couple of years ago. So to hear Marty saying an old man hurts right here. Hurts almost as much as the lidocaine patch I have on my hip because of hip pain. Oh, maybe I am an old man. Shit. Anyway, this is when Doc's like, oh no, she might run into her former self. Because he's like, Marty, we're not going to let you see that. That could be disastrous. Oh, snap. Jennifer could run into her former self, and the results could be disastrous. I think what I like is he says the worst thing that could happen is a complete breakdown of the space-time continuum, and what the whole universe collapses on itself. He goes, but the best, the better outcome would be that it's just a more focused issue. So in other words, all hell would break loose, the reality could collapse on itself, but it could only be focused to our galaxy. And Marty's like, well, okay, that's a relief. So I love that the worst case scenario is all reality is gone, is ruined. But the best case scenario is just our galaxy. And I love that Marty's like, well, that's a relief. So they're like, we need to go get her. But the Skyway's jammed. Skyway's backed up for miles. Oh, that's an Iron Maiden song. The freeway is jammed and it's backed up for miles. So they're going to go get Jennifer. But before that, Doc's like, but we're not taking this with us. This stays here. And he goes to throw it in a different garbage barrel right outside this green door and the Surf Vietnam sign. He goes to throw it away. And that's where this 3 minutes and 20 seconds comes to an end. But what did we learn here? Well, we learned that even though the plan didn't work out the way Doc had arranged it, had planned it out, even though the plan didn't work as planned, they still were able to save Marty Jr. from going to prison. However, we don't know the future after that, so we don't know how that changes Marty Jr.'s life outside of prison or after prison, or what that does to Marty or Jennifer. Interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see all the things that happen to the family because of the crime, and then what happens after that. But again, that's too much. That's not the focus of this. Marty shouldn't know too much about his future. That is true. So, and I guess neither should we. So we know that they did save Marty from going to jail, and the daughter as well. But because they, for some reason, took Jennifer Parker out of the car, she's now being taken back by two very inept police officers to a home that she doesn't live in a time that she doesn't live in. And now they need to go and rescue her. But they're not taking that almanac with him. Sorry, Marty. You thought you were going to be rich. That ship has sailed. Let's go save Jennifer. But that is for another day, because today we are done. We did it, my friends. We nailed it. I think, we definitely did it. I don't know if we nailed it, but we definitely did it. So I am excited because every day we do this is one less day we need to spend in this 2015. The sooner we get out of here, the better the movie becomes. It's just a simple fact. We have to deal with these dumb choices that were made as a setup. But now that that's happened, we get to enjoy the spoils of those bad, illogical decisions. I don't think we get another one. I don't think we do. I think everything else here kind of makes sense because they do everything they need to. Well, no, maybe everything. I'm not sure if everything makes sense. But I can't think of anything as haphazardly as leaving Jennifer out of the goddamn car. And the sooner we get out of here, the better we are, because I won't have to talk about it anymore. But I will be talking about the next 3 minutes, 20 seconds with you tomorrow. I hope you join me then. Until then, you can follow me on all the socials at Geek Mentality, except TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. I did put up a TikTok of that Cher song, and I did use a little AI, and I don't like to do it, but I just wanted a picture of Marty on the ship posing like Cher. Then I photoshopped the almanac into his hand, and the song is all me. There's no AI on the song, but I thought, you know what? Just for this picture, it's kind of funny. I don't care. I'm not making money off this. I'm not doing this to fool anybody. I'm doing this to make a stupid song. A stupid, brilliant, amazing song. Anyway, and if you want to see that on TikTok, it's Geek Mentality Mike. The Facebook page, Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts. That's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. And you can only see that short video on TikTok because YouTube blocked it. They did a copyright because I guess it's over a minute long and the music, but I'm like, it's me singing over like a karaoke version of the song. So that I got off of YouTube. I got off of your website, YouTube. So give me a break. But yes, Fans Not Experts on YouTube as well. And that's because every podcast I do is over at fansnotexperts.com. That is it. I am done. I will talk to you tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for putting up with all my rants about putting Jennifer in that friggin' alley. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.